Hi, what's up, Chalkers? Welcome to the Let's Chalk About It podcast. If you're new to fitness or just want to hang with some like-minded fitness folk, then this is the place for you. Remember, it's always good to chalk about it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Chalk About It. I am joined by Chris McKenzie, Scott Carson, I'm Kieran Innocent, and we are going to talk maybe fitness this time. Because we can't do
we've talked fitness last time.
I know we always talk fitness.
There's probably some information out there that can just go read that.
Yeah, there's
Don't listen
a thing
to
called
this.
Google.
Yeah. That'll give you all the right information, completely well informed.
Mr. Delivery Man didn't bring the drinks, so
Yeah,
we'll have to push that back to next week.
that's why we're tired.
Mention
Which
which
is
drinks,
fine.
though. Like, what were they? Excite.
So next week, so we have been told that the delivery is definitely coming. We will get them on and do our tasting samplers.
I think you had enough caffeine as it is.
Me?
Yeah.
I've done any caffeine.
All right. You're
Yeah.
a bit jacked
coffee-
up.
no,
You're just
our-
excited for the podcast.
Our coffee machine at work has stopped working.
Oh, no.
Mm.
So I literally went around every machine this morning and I was like, they're not working.
Yeah.
No coffee.
I'd have
So
a
it's
poverty
sad times.
coffee. I'd have Nespressos.
I actually went to the
Ooh.
vending machine today. That's how bad it got. I was like, I'm going to go and try and find 20p and have a vending machine coffee. And I just couldn't bring myself to it. I was like, I just can't do it. I cannot do it. I had my money ready and I was like,
You were so angry you just curled the 20p. Like, I'm not doing it.
Bending it so you can't put it in next
Yeah.
time to learn a lesson.
I even contemplated thinking, do I just get back in my car and go and find somewhere to get coffee?
You should just
And
went
then
out for a
come back
coffee.
to
It's
work.
not like, yeah. Your job's not important.
So, anyway, on that note,
You're important,
thank you.
and your income is.
You're important to me.
Oh, look, you got me tearing up. You haven't really. I'm actually just got dry eyes.
Kieran is really crying.
It's the last time I've fucking
We are
given you a
close enough. We
compliment.
can tell you he's crying.
So, we've got a couple of questions come through. So, we'll start with the questions and then we'll see where that goes. Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Good, because you got
Yes.
no choice.
Oh.
Wasn't
So-
even a question, was it?
First question comes from Alex. It said, my question is, why do people think that they're always going to get injured doing CrossFit?
Oh, wow.
That's
Mm.
it.
I always
That's
let you
it.
go first.
Why me?
The old, I'll go if you want. The old preconception, which isn't, because there is some great coaches out there, and a lot of CrossFit athletes, amateur and the pros, they use Olympic lifting coaches, and they even the best ones come from lifting backgrounds, which means their form should be good. But there's two sort of misconceptions that their form's going to be bad because you see all of the 10 million, I keep hitting this thing, 10 million videos on all over YouTube, etc., of people just using the worst form. But for every
Yeah.
bad CrossFit video you see where someone's using terrible form, there's a powerlifter doing the same thing, there's a bodybuilder doing the same thing.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
the injuries, I think, I'd say they come from the repetition and probably the lack of programming in
I think
CrossFit.
it's because it's such a young sport and it got so big so quickly. You had too many people doing too much too soon.
Yeah. So just the maths, if you've got
Yeah.
like millions of people trying it, you're
Yeah.
going to get a lot of them that are getting injured.
Because CrossFit made people touch barbells for the first time,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get some crazy shit there. For
No-
someone that's never picked up a barbell
No sport
doing a snatch.
Yeah. No sport has put more barbells in people's hands than CrossFit.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and people love doing it, gets them in good shape, so why not?
yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
So I think it's the...
I can't add anything to it because I've never done CrossFit, so it's not something I,
haven't.
can
You've
be
done
like,
you've done some metabolic conditioning type
yeah,
stuff.
kind of, but I think maybe it's just because it's, the sort of conception that people are, misconception, so to say, that people are doing very complex movements fast, and they're
Yeah.
trying to do as many as they can in a set amount of time.
It's more that second bit. It's more that you're doing lots of repetitions of it. And
Yeah.
when you're proficient and when that 30th rep isn't your absolute max out. So you look at someone that's like been training CrossFit for years, or they're at a good level, or they're selecting the right weights. When they do that 30th rep, they're okay. They can then go do whatever else is planned in their Metcon. But someone that's starting CrossFit, more likely to get injured. That 30th rep is absolutely just all out for them, and that's when injuries are going to happen. So
yeah, that's when form just breaks down.
Yeah.
They become diabolical reps. They're not something that someone at a high level is going to be doing.
So it's ability related, and it's you're doing tons more reps on it. And when you are fatigued, no one's going to keep the best form possible, and that's when you're going to get injured.
Yeah.
So that's probably why people do think injuries are going to happen. And that's we're just talking about the weightlifting injuries in CrossFit. Lots of reps, pushing yourself all the time, having to be the jack of all trades, being strong, being able to swim, being able to run, cycle. You're going to get injuries all over those because they're bringing so many sports together.
Yeah. So you're doing high skilled movements for max effort, especially as novices as well.
For reps as well.
For reps, yeah.
I think maybe the stigma around CrossFit's dying down a little bit because I think they're changing the game slightly. So from early on to now, sort of early on, it was almost a bit, we have to do better than we did last year from the way that the games were set up.
Yeah. How do we one-up it every
how
time?
do we one-up it? What complex movement can we get them doing?
Yeah.
What weird exercise can we get them doing that they've never done before?
Fault. That's what it is.
Whereas now I think they've become very we've got a dedicated weight session. We've then got a circuit session that they've got to do. Then we're going to do cycling one day. Then we're going to swim one day, rather than it all be just a crazy all-out, deadlift all that and then go over there and run a mile.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking at the games, how many times do you see a top athlete get injured? And then you look at, strongman. I've seen so many bicep tears, people crushed by stones. Because you just...
they're
the top of the top.
All sport
has
its injuries, and you've got to look at, what's the term, just participation. So there's more people in certain sports, you get greater injuries. But then what you have to look at is per 1,000 people, how many injuries are you getting? So that's when you have to really look deep into the data.
Yeah.
And weightlifting and CrossFit isn't too bad when you consider all the participants.
Most people I know that get injured playing football.
Yeah.
Like most people I know are like, I've ruptured my Achilles. How'd you do it playing football?
Jogging.
Are they real injuries? Or are they just
I'm going to look across at someone that's not on camera.
WWE football injuries.
But I broke my foot.
What's
How
a
do you do that
WWE
playing
football injury?
Well, where they get tapped on the shoelace and they do a flip.
Oh, right. Okay, right. Actually playing football,
Yeah.
I still stand to this, and I said this when I was 8 years old, that football is faker than wrestling.
Oh, 100%. I have this argument all the time. I do like that this podcast always seems to come back to wrestling in some way.
Yeah.
And don't forget...
CrossFit,
so
not wrestling days.
Yeah.
So what do you say about CrossFit? Because I think football is faker than wrestling.
Yeah. I do think football is
That was
faker
your
than
fault,
wrestling.
though.
Yeah.
Doing that.
I just wanted everyone to know that opinion.
I say that all the time. I'm like, if you want to fake
it's not
sport...
predetermined, but a lot more fake injuries.
You just tap them on the foot and that's it. They're like...
Yeah, I've seen some
3
great
somersault
bumps.
bumps.
Don't even start. It's just literally pathetic. Why do they do it?
Well, that's all the football fans got.
Yeah. All one
That's
of them.
okay. We didn't want you here anyway.
Don't come back.
Sorry, Mark.
Oh, he's the person, by the way, who broke his foot playing football.
That's probably a real injury, though.
It wasn't actually a genuine injury. Actually, he done it through gymnastics.
That's
as well,
dedicated,
but
though.
we'll not get into that one.
Fake falling over, I've done my foot, and then actually hobble around for 10 weeks. That's like the real dedication to a fake injury.
Now, we've got 2 quite interesting questions, and they're very similar. One will lead into the next one. So, favourite weird food combination? This comes from Lynn.
Weird food. I'm going to think about it. Oh, no.
Yeah. Favorite weird food combination?
Because I've got some good combinations, but it's probably
I don't know if this
tasty.
is weird.
You go first, Kieran.
But I like to have toast, peanut butter, and beans, and egg.
That is really weird.
The beans made it weird for me. The peanut butter and egg doesn't really bother
you
me.
do like that.
Yeah.
I'll have peanut. I mean, it's just like making something like a white man satay, isn't it? Like, give me the satay without the spice.
Mel made me, and she could have just given me like peanut butter with like little slices of apple, but she did like thin slice of apple, peanut butter, and then another thin slice of apple and put lime on it so it didn't sort of oxidize, and it was just great.
Is this in your little Dairy Lee lunchbox?
Give my little lunch boxes, yeah. So she made me those, and that was really tasty. That's
we
not a
should
weird
ask
one.
Mel this for anyone that doesn't know. Like Chris's partner, she's what was it like? How explain what a job is?
So she was a chef for years. Then she went into food development, and then decided she wanted to do things better, all on her own. So she's got her own business.
I just want to know her opinion on this. All the weird, because I just want to write them down and try them.
What, all the weird things she makes me?
Yeah, she was like, what's great is just refried beans and bananas. And I'm like, I'm doing it.
Get her on the phone.
We're not having a caller in to not tell us she'll be on the podcast.
Hey, you can tell her. Just say, look, we're doing the podcast. Get her on the phone and say, what's your weirdest food combination?
What's yours? So
I think
peanut butter,
that's
toast, egg, and beans.
Yeah.
I love like a Hawaiian
ones.
special.
Mine's not that it's weird. I think it's just I get hungry. So I then look at, like, if I get really hungry, I'll do the toast. I'll probably think I'm going to have egg on toast. And then I go, oh, I've got some peanut butter in there. I'll put some peanut butter. And then I go, maybe I could have some beans. There's some beans. And then that's how it kind of just...
You must make great cocktails. Like just, I fancy a bit of this. And I actually want a bit of that. Just chuck it all in.
Yeah, a bit like that. Why not?
I think my one would be any sort of milk chocolate with salt and vinegar crisps. Same time. But that's not too bad. It's not that weird.
That is a British thing. People pair up a type of crisp with a type of chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate.
But it's the saltiness with that chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate and crisp is definitely a thing, isn't it? People like.
Oh, what's my? I don't know what my weird thing is then.
I don't know.
I'll tell you one weird thing.
You
McDonald's chips and
in the milkshake. People do that.
Yeah, that's just a thing now.
It is, isn't it? It is.
Again, it comes down to numbers. If enough people have McDonald's,
it's not weird.
They get injured and do that.
I think mine's spam, eggs, pineapple, and rice.
There's a whole nation to do that.
Like soy sauce on it.
You really were born
They're
in the
called
wrong
Samoans.
Country. Yeah, you really were.
Give me that. I wouldn't put salmon in with spam though, but they're interchangeable.
I don't know if I eat anything too weird. I think the chocolate and crisps. It's not even weird.
No, I don't think that's that weird. I think that's kind of normal. There's nothing you.
It's particularly weird. Something's gonna definitely.
I've been having peanut butter and jelly oats every morning lately.
Peanut butter and jelly oats.
Yeah, so like I've got.
What the hell is jelly?
Oh, peanut butter and.
Come on,
it's not even jam because it's what's it called?
What's
What's fancy jam called? I always forget the name of it.
Conserve,
yeah. Because it's all to do like jelly uses gelatin, whereas jam uses peptin, and conserve. What was it?
Conserve.
God, I wish I hadn't said anything now. I'll just make the fact that we're not Americans. So call it jam.
Well,
we'll say other American
jelly and
words
jam
like
is two different things.
Compartmentalize. It's not a word.
Aluminum.
So I put a berry conserve on, or I'll just mash some berries, put it on top, and then I'll just cook my oats with peanut butter in it.
And raspberry over strawberry for me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't eat anything too weird. Sorry, I just don't.
Oh. Chris doesn't live very.
But then the amount of things that people put with other foods, what's even weird?
Basically,
now?
anything in a pitta for you.
Does it involve bread? Well, Chris is probably eating it.
Okay, so
this is now the similar, but
it's food related.
Yeah,
we've got 3 questions that are all food related.
Oh,
right. So food cast now. Food podcast.
So let's go for one now that's gonna bring Chris into his element here, which is what is carb cycling and how do you do it?
Oh man, this has been a long day, by the way. Carb cycling.
Some kids.
Carb cycling is when you eat bread while you're on your bike. No? Press the button.
We need the button.
No. Hopefully it worked. No one's got headphones on.
I could hear it.
Which one was it?
It was a
You can add what you want because you like talking about nutrition as well. So don't just make it about me. So carb cycling in an attempt to have a lower calorie days with maintenance or higher calorie days. So you're cycling your calories throughout the week. Your main macronutrient that you're manipulating is your carbohydrates. So it's just a bit easier because there's more sort of choice with carbohydrate foods, I think anyway, to keep your protein relatively
stable.
Stable, I was going to say stable.
Yeah.
Similar. So let's say you're a 90 kilo athlete, anything from maybe, depending on goals, and maybe it's like if it's weight loss, maybe let's go for 200 to 220, let's say, grams of protein a day. Your carbohydrates would be, and again, it's going to vary massively with what type of athlete you are, what your goals are, but let's say you'll start, say 260 on like a medium or maybe more like a medium day.
You could have just made this easy and just said a 50 kilo gal and just done 100 grams.
No, it's fine. I'm just giving an example. So
I'm just looking at him now and just watching numbers come out of his head, and I'm just like, I'm lost already. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, your maintenance days. It really is irrelevant because it's whatever goals you are, which should be fit up to what calories you eat every day. So you have lower calorie days, which will be your low carb days, and then you'll have maybe maintenance days, and you can have some high carb days when you're refeeding and you're trying to maybe boost your metabolism back to where it was when you sort of maybe have some lower carb days and
most people use it for rest days. They might up their fat a little bit and reduce their carbs to keep calories the same, or you basically have a net carb for the week. So you can have Monday to Friday 500 grams of carbs. How are you going to split them over your day? So you have 200 one day, next day 100, next day 50, back up to 100.
I'm taking you're going to do this based on also what your training goals are.
Yeah.
So if you're having maybe just a cardio day, you maybe bring your carbs down a little bit. If you're having a heavy lifting day,
that's really getting into it, because there's all sorts of ways to do it. If you're like strength training, so maybe like lower reps, some people like to have like higher carb days on their off days to they're recovering a little bit better. Or if you're leading up to like some high rep days, or maybe like a run or a swim or a cycle, you might want to have a couple of lower days when you're really depleting. Have a high day just before your competition or before a big training stress,
because you're glycogen.
Yeah, so you do like a refeed and sorry.
There's so many different ways you can do it. It's not like it's like, how to do
super
intermittent fasting. Because there's
super compensate is what I was looking for. So you have a few low days, and as you're building up to a really big session, or like maybe like a session a few days out from training, you'll have a lot of carbs, so like a refeed, or a high day if you're looking at high and low days, and you'll super compensate, take on loads of glycogen, and you should perform better in that training session. So it's just changing the amount of carbs you're having each day, and there's loads of different goals that can fit.
Yeah, but the end goal should be the same.
It doesn't have to be a weekly cycle. No, it could be daily. If you
monthly.
hit daily calories,
Oh, cool. Well, there you go. I've learned something today.
I think probably the easiest one to look at, I would say, it doesn't have to fit like the week, like in terms of 5 days and then 2 days off, because people look at it as like, oh, high carbs means I can eat what I want. No, you still have to only manipulate your carbohydrates. So don't just think of it as like 2 cheat days or cheat meals. That's just not the way to think about things. So traditionally, you'd maybe have you'd plan your training. You could maybe do 5 to 6 medium to lower days. This would be an easy way to do it for most people, rather than thinking about lots of different variables each week. Oh, it's Wednesday. You're trying to go to work, you're trying to meal prep, it's lots to think about. So I would say the easy way to start, if you're going to start carb cycling, 5 to 6 lower or medium days, and then have a refeed once a week.
And most people kind of do that, naturally. Like during Monday to Friday, they kind of eat a little bit less, and at weekends...
But is it just carbohydrates they have? It's usually just less food, isn't it?
Yeah, it's usually just less food, that's true.
Cool. Right. So, the next question kind of follows on from that. Not carb cycling, but kind of follows the same food thing, which is, what is your favourite protein-packed meal?
Wow.
Bread for Chris.
No, it's not.
Just bread.
Protein-packed meal.
You've got so many, because Mel just makes some amazing-looking dishes.
I think me and Chris can both agree with bolognese is just one of the
You might
kings.
have... It popped into my head straight away, and I did just have meatballs and pasta. With a nice tomato sauce. Protein-packed meal.
Oh. Dum, 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 dum.
What do you like? If you're thinking
Fajitas. That's it.
Fajitas.
Just go straight to them
That's just a lot of everything, though.
Yeah, but I like it because I can just get my chicken in, and I know I can get a good amount of protein from that.
Get my protein and get my chicken in.
Well, do you know what? I got to the point where I'm not a big red meat eater anymore, because Sophie doesn't eat a lot of red meat, and it's just kind of, because she doesn't, I don't really buy it in.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stopped doing it. And then when I go back and I start eating steaks, I've kind of gone like the reverse of Chris. When I stop eating steaks and then I go back to eating them again, I'm just a bit like, I don't really want to eat them. So really for me, I want to just try and get chicken in, because I know I can get a decent amount of protein from it.
Yeah, that's
protein packed is, to me, I would say chicken salad, but like really be fun and experiment with your salads. Don't just do like lettuce, tomatoes. So
I love
just make yourself something nice.
Egg muffins, like eggs, cottage cheese, a bit of chorizo, just in a muffin tin. Do them in the oven. They're great.
I'll agree. Good. Bolognese or like similar Italian meals, because it just tastes great.
A good egg dish. Like I could eat scrambled egg till the
just give me a plate of scrambled egg.
Just like
if I had to pick one, because
15 eggs.
It's annoying when that happens with questions. You go, so what's your favourite? And you're like, well, I don't have one. But let's say bolognese is a really good option.
Yeah, bolognese is probably
and
up
then
there
just for
No,
protein,
definitely.
I would say chicken salad, because if you're saying, okay, I want a protein feed, I kind of a lot more calories, I'd probably go chicken salad.
What kind of chicken salad? Caesar salad?
Grilled chicken, maybe Caesar, but so the one I make: rocket, tomatoes, capers, grapes.
Grapes.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're
There you
another one of
go.
them freaks.
Weird food.
You're another one of them
Hey, we
freaks.
got there.
We answered 2 questions.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I'm in that gang. Grapes and apples in my
Grapes.
salads.
Yeah.
No.
In tuna
no,
salad,
no,
apples,
no,
great.
Yeah.
no,
Chilies,
no,
fresh
no.
chili. Capers, though.
I have to admit, I'm outnumbered here, but no. just no. Fruit is fruit. It just on its own. Salad is.
I've got a
Yeah.
question back to you because I feel
Yeah,
like
what
you're
about that cucumber that you put in your salad?
Oh, here we go. It's not a fruit. Or the other way around.
Yeah, it's
Sorry for you to have an argument here.
Well, I have the same discussion with work because there's a woman that I work with, and she does the same. So every salad she has, she comes in, she goes, "Yeah, I've got grapes in it," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're a freak." And then she'll say, "I've got mangoes in it today," and I'm like, "That's even worse." So
mango
like,
salsa is
mango on its
shit.
own, fine with that, but let's not have it in a salad with nuts and all sorts of weird,
Oh,
crazy.
give me all of that. You know what's
No,
great?
no.
Pomegranate.
Maybe I'm just.
That
a
is
bit-
a winner. Oh, that's so good. In pitters.
There
In like
we
chicken, pickled red cabbage, the rocket
He's
again.
running again.
Pickled salad.
Pickled
That's
stuff.
all we need. Just
Yeah.
some
We're going hard on the
sauerkraut.
food now. That's
Yeah.
No,
that
carry on. Let's carry on. That's
what's
what
the question again?
was.
Oh yeah, protein feed.
Yeah.
We've gone so far down the rabbit hole of
I know.
fruit
Yeah,
and salad.
didn't expect that on
I'd say-
YouTube.
I mean, everyone's favorite. It's barbecue. Just sticking stuff on a grill. Is that class as a protein
I
filled
mean,
snack?
to be fair, yeah, I could smash a lot of burgers.
Yeah, just
Like-
stick a whole bunch of meat on a grill.
Good
and,
quality. I can't stand that like overly
No,
seasoned,
no.
oniony like rubbish burgers. You
Yeah.
have to have good making yourself, or like buy good ones.
Yeah, I don't want a burger to go puffy and weep at me just before I eat it.
No, like starch was all coming out of it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
what
like
you
me
do?
in my childhood.
I just want to
Crying
go,
starch
I just wanna-
tears
Yeah, puffy and eating.
after
I just
the
want to be
bit of
puffy
birthday
and weepy
cake.
after I've eaten it. That's the way I look at it. But yes, so that is the question section.
That was a bit more fun. They were
Finished.
funny.
Yeah,
That is the
it's
question
all of them. Is
section.
that, you said 4? So 1, 2. Yeah, it's 4.
It was 4 questions. So it was about food related. So
Yeah, quite food heavy.
did you do any more research on
We got our
Linda
teeth into
Bagwell on a poll?
Yes, sorry, it was a Judy Bagwell on a pole.
And it wasn't on a pole. It was on a forklift.
It was
right?
a forklift, but they called it on a pole. So it's
It's almost exactly the same
it's
thing.
both the
Almost exactly the same.
forklift is just a robot pole, right?
Yeah, it just moves up and down. Someone drives it.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as a pole.
Yeah, robot pole.
Yeah. I have to admit, I haven't laughed that much in ages when I heard that because I think it just come out of left field. I was just like, I've never heard this. How have I never heard of?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the name as well. I think the fact that it was Linda Bagwell
yeah,
or Julie
yeah Judy Bagwell on a pole match.
on a pole
Yeah,
just tickled me. It really did tickle me.
one of
I
those.
like how
weird-
we eventually got back to that one and you just
Yeah,
talk about it.
Yeah. Well, we said we'd get back to it in the next episode. So
yeah.
Well, I don't actually know what.
I mean, I
happened.
don't have much else to
You didn't go
add,
back and, like,
really.
watch the-
No.
From like 96,
I mean, I
whatever it
shared,
was.
I shared
I don't
a
know.
photo of it. That was about it. Don't watch it because it's a waste of time.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think the thought of it is going to be far better. You know, like some films when
You watch them again and
you
go,
watch
"Oh,
them
no."
and you're like, that's not actually that
Yeah.
funny. But then you sit with your mates and you start like reeling off the lines from the film. You're like,
Yeah.
actually, it's funny if you're talking about it, but
Yeah.
So many
watching
films
it.
are better with an audience.
Anchorman
Yeah.
2 was like that. So it wasn't a good film, and then you watch it back, and you're still like, yeah, it didn't do justice to the first one.
Right.
But then you sit with your mates and you're just like, yeah, but that was that scene where he was doing it, and then you start
Oh, yeah.
laughing and you're like, well, maybe it's funny from like a memory point of view, but not actually a
Yeah, that's true.
watching it point of view.
Yeah, you get the opposite as well, where you watch a movie and you tell people about it and it's funny, and they sit down to watch it, and you get that awkward feeling where you're like, this bit, this bit's funny.
I actually sat down and watched Nacho
There's a
Libre.
total opposite feeling. I know what you're saying.
While we're still on the wrestling topic, I sat down
Yeah.
and watched Nacho Libre.
Right, we've
with-
tried to get onto films, and Kieran's like, "Oh, right, that
I
wrestling
can
thing."
always get back to wrestling, mate. Don't you worry about that.
Before you've been scorned by it like completely, but now you're just like bringing it back. Oh god! Anyway, about the
It's like that Kevin Bacon game, but with wrestling. It's like how many subjects how many steps you are away from Kevin Bacon? Like you pick an actor, and you have to.
you have to
find out who they are to get back to Kevin Bacon.
I've never played that.
No,
No.
You could do that
it's
with
hard.
Sam-
You have to. You need to be well into movies, which.
Yeah, you could do it with
I am
Samuel
not
L.
at that
Jackson
level.
easily. He's only one step away from that
Yeah,
one.
exactly. Yeah.
It'd be pretty good to say what films he's not in as opposed to the ones he does appear in.
Yeah. Jack Black's got so many films. Like, must
Yeah, I
be
was getting
over
onto that.
200.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't realise how far
appearances.
back he goes, actually. Like, as in, I watched one of his IMDb things the other day, and it was
Yeah.
like celebrating his career. So it was.
Oh right.
It must have been an old one though, because he was just talking about Jumanji and the fact that they were about to do the second one. So obviously, it was a fair few years ago.
What was his first movie? Was it Orange County or?
No,
I know he had
a kid.
I said to you the other day, the cameo, and he's like an extra in Demolition Man.
Yeah, no, before that, he's done about 4 films before, but Demolition
Before
Man.
that, wow.
Yeah, he was really young.
He's just so.
What's the one where he plays a stoner?
They played School of Rock on the way to work today. I was like, all right, I like it.
I think he said that when he first started out, there was like a 10-year gap between his films. So he starred in a few, I think maybe up to Demolition.
Well, every time he got a hit.
And then it stopped for like 10 years and he did nothing. And then
he
he
toured
again.
with Tenacious D.
I think this was pre-Tenacious D. I think this was
way before
just
that.
his acting career, and then it just stopped. He just said I didn't get anything after that.
Do you know there was like, I don't know, must be like 15, 20 show special with HBO and Tenacious D?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Just because no one knows about it. It's just like
American.
Yeah.
I've not even seen
I haven't watched his YouTube series yet. I know.
He does gaming?
He does a lot of gaming.
No, there's a Tenacious D YouTube animated show, which is quite. It's not PG. I'll tell you that.
Really?
I watched the first episode. I was like, this is a bit. It reminded me a lot of Times in Life of Tim. If anyone's ever watched that.
No.
Times in Life of Tim. Oh, it's fantastic. It's just a room full of comedians. So I can't remember the comedians' names off the top of my head because it's been about 6 years since I watched it.
Do you think maybe one of them might be called Tim?
No. The character's called Tim.
Oh.
But what they do is they basically have
so bad they all
have a
fake
scene.
names.
They'll have like a scene that they kind of work from, and they just improv, and it's just really poorly drawn animation over the top of this comedians improving characters on top of one another, and it's one of the funniest shows. God, you need to watch it.
Would you, or have you done an improv night?
No, I used to think about doing it while I was at college, and I wrote a 5-minute routine.
For improv?
Isn't that the opposite
well,
of what
no,
you're
it's
meant
not
to
improv.
do?
You go to an improv, don't you? And you get on
really?
stage and you practice your routines.
No, I thought it'd be like
I
you
thought it
start.
was they shout out something and you have to
it's
act
improvised
out something
though.
that they've spoken
Do you mean like a whose lines it anyway type deal?
Kinda. Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
very staged though. You can tell.
No, that's just improv.
Yeah, and a lot of it. But I'm saying you can tell there's bits that are like done.
No.
I thought it was
Right.
kind of
Well,
in the
that's not as bad as you saying you write stuff for an improv night. Surely you
That's
just
what
turn up.
comedians. No.
That's a stand-up.
No, that's when you get a special.
I think there's a bit of a difference between writing a few lines and doing a special.
Yeah, you get a stand-up.
I was just whatever pops into my head.
That's just
half
a
an
type,
hour of
you're
material.
Just a comedian, right?
I can just see it now, like Kevin Hart, like I don't know how many thousands
So
of people
you
he had
go
there.
to-
It's like, I've got a few lines, but I'll make it up. Oh
you
wait,
go to like the improv and you go to an open mic night and you try your material out and see.
Yeah,
if
and
you're
you
funny.
see
Yeah.
what hits, and
Yeah.
and then you just
Yeah.
use the best stuff on your better
Yeah.
stuff.
I always had that fear of going up and nothing landed, and I'm like, well, this is my life over.
Ooh. So I've
Yeah.
seen clips of like improv nights where people will start off with one line or one idea, and then there's just like 3 people on stage, and they've just got to
Oh yeah,
improvise.
yeah, because that's
Go
what
for
I
it.
kind of thought it was.
like improv acting type
like
stuff.
improv
yeah.
groups. I
But
think
it's got to be
Yeah.
funny. There's no
I've
point.
never
no point
actually
going to watch
seen
like
that.
emotional
I'd
stuff.
love to go and watch it, but like you're just given a scene, and just go.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm
You
that
get
good,
that one
so-
dickhead that ruined it for everyone. It
That'd be
just
me.
kept going off the screen.
That'd be me.
Or just does like lines from a film, and you're like, that's and you're just like, oh, just
I'll be back. Yeah, sure, that's definitely a line from a film.
oh,
No, it's not.
cheers, Alan, good
Definitely
one.
Not.
So good there.
Okay then. So as we're talking about films, let's just try and keep it
Don't
a
say
little
improv
bit.
something.
No, let's... yeah.
Oh, it's
So,
been too long
Chris,
today.
you're a sports
Fried.
guy and you're in a podcast. Go.
How about some more of those questions?
So while we're talking about films and improv and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
so off days. So when you're having an off day, a relaxed day, you're not gymming. What's your thing? What's your go-to?
Gym is my go-to. That's just what I go
Without
to
gym, there's no life.
Yeah, I don't really have an off day unless it's like a work day. So then I'm either working.
You're a
and
serious
sleeping.
operator.
Yeah, I like hiking, seeing things, walking, drinking coffee. That's about it. I'm a very boring person.
I thought that was going to be a lot more entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought that was like my question. That's why I don't write questions for things. Like one line answer, everyone's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty boring people because we train, and
I'm pretty
then
boring.
we talk about training,
Yeah, that's true.
and then we occasionally watch movies. And we all watch movies in between.
plan places like we want to go. Love talking about or trying my best to go places to travel and experience.
Mm.
But that's kind of like long term.
But not like just goals. A day off. Like
Don't do much. No, don't do a terrible lot. Sorry,
lately, I've just been driving to seasides. I haven't done it the last week or so, but yeah.
Note to self, Kieran, don't ask questions on the podcast because they're shit.
Scott and Kieran could just talk about other things apart from themselves.
Oh God, that's something my therapist would say.
This is your
Scott, you wanted to talk about anything but yourself.
Nope.
So no one does. I mean, I game a lot, but that's about it.
Yeah, I haven't owned a console since I don't know. I think the last time I played a console was with you.
2007, I owned one.
Yeah, probably back in the day.
Yeah, back in your mum's house. Like I just was never one of those people that found it entertaining.
I didn't find it entertaining.
I preferred watching people play than playing.
Yeah.
I think if we said other interests, we'd probably have something. So
yeah. Okay, let's rewind. So I've got a question for you. What other interests do you have other than the gym? I completely thought about that.
I'm really happy
on my own, with no assistance from anybody else.
You improved.
I
you didn't write it and turn up to the.
No, I didn't. No, maybe I should next time.
The one question just didn't bang, did it? The one question you did have.
Not at all.
Nice. Live sport. I'm just like chuffed that live sport's back. I can watch like golf. I can watch boxing and just get stuck into that sort of stuff. So love watching that. Love the idea of the coaching. Love thinking about how they would do certain things, and I just love watching it as well. And I play golf as well as watching it.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. So you do have things on your off day.
Yeah.
So you just lied to me and made my question look shit.
Yeah, but the only thing is like other than gym, it's just like golf.
Well, to be honest, do you ever play golf on your off days? Usually run in here. It's like, sorry, just thrash steady. You just come in and hit a bench PR. Go home with your dick swinging.
I don't know about bench
PR. That's what
you
used on the course. You didn't even use a club.
What? Cheers, Kieran. I knew you thought highly of me.
No, you just got little legs.
I'm not going to go any further.
We'll leave that there.
I don't know about bench PR after golf. I feel drained after golf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because last time you come here, I think after golf, it was like that 30-degree day, wasn't it?
Oh, one of the last times.
You come in like
36
like
it got to. I was like, this is way too hot for golf.
Like a lobster.
Yeah, do enjoy it. So, but watching live sport, but yeah, I've been playing a lot of golf this year, which is great. And that's been one of the bonuses of lockdown. It's like, that's one sport that's really safe and you can go and do it. So I played lots of golf.
It's interesting because for years, I think I look slightly serious here, but for years...
That's how you start a series.
I hated golf. Like, absolutely hated it with a passion. It was like...
Wow.
To me, it was a game for retired footballers. Everything that they ever took up all seemed to be golf. And it was like... Even like Sunday league players, so people who play all their life and then they go, oh, no, I'll play golf now.
I need
on a
something to do on Sunday.
I'll play golf. But then we did a charity
really sociable though, just like game sports, like your footballs and rugby.
Which is not great for an introvert.
Well, we did a charity event
a few...
God, how long ago was it now? How long did we do that charity event, Mark?
Last August, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was a while ago. But we decided we didn't want to be shit. As shit, should I say, because I'm still shit. You see me play, you know it's shit.
We had a good laugh.
We did. But it was like a little... Yeah, actually, I quite enjoy this. I quite like the fact that you sort of stroll around, you get to take in a bit of scenery. You're not rushed to get things done. You just play your own pace. And you just get a little bit better every time. Well, no, you don't. That's a lie. But you play every time.
Are you saying what you like about golf?
Yeah.
The courses, some courses do look beautiful to go and walk and enjoy that.
Oh,
but it's more about Rutland's beautiful.
Oh, Rutland's is stunning.
But it's just more about improving yourself. And I just like the action. It's fun. Smashing things down the fairway. Go find it, hit it again. And
apart from that one bit that you lose it every time.
Oh, right, yeah.
That stupid 9-foot pole.
I don't think everyone's played that hole, so it's just pretty irrelevant.
I can't relate.
Well, this must be what he feels like for wrestling.
He would be hilarious. We need to take him.
Oh, you need to come play golf.
He wouldn't understand why he wasn't like just literally ripping it like 300 yards. He'd be like, "Why can't I?"
I appreciate golf. I just do not find it interesting.
I've got the image too.
I'm sure you can't. Yeah, I'm sure you don't.
I don't find it interesting either. Well, I didn't find it interesting until I started playing it, and then I went the first time and I was a bit like, "Yeah, that's not for me." And then it was like, "Yeah, I kind of want to go back and just give it another go." And then you just kind of kept rolling over, and it was like, Yeah, I'm enjoying this actually.
Doesn't quite have the atonement of powerlifting, so we don't.
No.
I don't love it quite as much as powerlifting.
Open water swimming.
Or wrestling.
At 5 a.m.
I'm interested in sports that other people don't want to do, so I'm alone. Like, hey, do you want to go do an ice water swim? No. Fantastic.
Oh man, I really wanted you to come along as well.
Again. Do you want to go for a swim? It's a great introvert exercise. You can't talk to one another because you'll drown. It's great.
What happened to the one guy you took with him? I don't know. We went out swimming and never come back.
Who? Shut up. What are you talking about?
He went under the ice. Didn't see him again.
Allegedly.
Under the ice. Oh my
He wants
god.
to go ice swimming.
Yeah,
Although
yeah,
technically,
there's
is it not like below 2 degrees or something, or below 9 degrees it counts as ice swimming?
There's different levels. You know, we used to go cold water swimming. So if it's under 10
swimming.
degrees.
Or cold water's cold. No matter where, it's always nasty.
Well, no, like cold water swimming is anything under 10 degrees. So just before ice forms, or you go ice swimming where they cut 2 holes in the ice and you have to swim from one to the other.
Oh no, you're okay on that one.
Yeah.
Just make sure that your eyes don't freeze over and you can't find the hole.
I mean, you have a team there and they put like a rope through, and they're all very professional when you meet them.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds really safe now that he says all that.
Yeah.
It does, it's like free diving, like when they just try and do the record so you can get down the furthest. You ever seen it?
Just down depth.
Yeah, like depth. They literally
just get the pressure.
They have almost like an anchor thing that they go down on, and then they have to release themselves from a cord because
Oh
obviously
my
can only come up at a certain time. But that's just like what I don't understand. Why?
And they can't come up too quick.
I can't
'cause the
stand the pressure
pressure,
after
yeah.
say
Oxygen
like
coming
12 foot. Once I'm 12 foot down, hate it. Can't stand the pressure.
How deep was the old swimming baths here?
11.
Was it 11 foot?
11 foot.
See, I used to just hate that. Like even getting to the
Yeah.
bottom of that was like a challenge. You get down there and you just be like, yeah, I'm coming back up now.
And I don't know if it's the water or like the tiles, but it was like really dark. It must have been the water, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't even know.
just the shit
And it was-
Corby
you know,
lights
when
when
you're a kid,
penetrating it.
I used to do the terrible,
Yeah, the
radiation
tungsten
in
can't
Corby.
make it through all that chlorine.
the heavy metals in the air.
Child piss.
We're all radioactive because we live here.
Yeah.
And you'd see it, and it'd be like, because I used to do like swimming lessons when I was a kid, going past, but you look at the deep bit, and you'd be like, oh man, it's like scary when you're a kid.
And now it goes to what? I don't even know how deep it goes. It goes deep enough to train people scuba
Olympic,
diving.
And diving.
Well, you've got the high board,
Isn't
haven't
it?
you? So it's got to be
Yeah.
fairly deep. I would imagine much deeper than 11 foot.
Oh,
Although
much
apparently-
deeper, yeah.
They used to have a high board in the old baths, and they took it
Yeah.
out long before we ever went.
Yeah.
So maybe that, I don't know, maybe it doesn't have to be much deeper than 11 foot. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking because they teach people scuba diving down there.
Yeah, but they do that on holiday, mate. There's like a 3 foot deep hole. As long as you can go under the water, that's all.
No, I
they
think
do.
they train people like with the pressure. I think it goes.
Oh, okay.
It goes like I don't know.
I know the floor
I'm
moves, don't it,
speculating
so-
like past 20 foot. I'm just saying it now.
We're just making up bullshit now.
Yeah, I'm just making up 172 meters deep.
I'll teach you to scuba dive in my paddling pool if you want.
170 meters.
It just comes up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like the cenotes, just swim in. I'm in the town now. Just come out well. Oh, back we go.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, I think
That's
swimming for you.
What would a training day for if a day involved swimming or like a cold swim? What would that day look like for you?
cold?
like well.
That's how it would feel. It can't look cold, can it?
I'd
Yeah,
never,
it can
Oh,
look
it's
cold.
cold today.
Have you ever looked across a lake and gone, that looks fucking cold? You've never looked at something and gone, that looks
The
cold.
thing is, most
A
times you
day
have to
can't
start
look
at like
cold.
7.
Like how your day's gonna
Fucking
look.
can look cold. You get out in the morning and you look at your car and there's frost on the window. It looks fucking cold. My day's cold. Sorry, Scott.
How
Carry
did
on.
it?
How does your day feel? Look.
How did it look?
I was like if I'm doing like just a swimming session.
Go through your day. Yeah, maybe what you ate before and then how the session would look, feel, go.
So standard would be I'd always kind of swim after a training session. So I'd probably eat oats, peanut butter, eggs, stuff like that,
Nice.
or a shake. I always warm up 100 meters. Then at the minute, I'm doing a 1K for time,
Ah, right.
and then I break into some kicking drills or board drills, breathing techniques, just fun stuff. No real time limit on them.
Training your sport, like your skills.
Yeah,
Skills.
so I'm a terrible kicker because I learned to swim for triathlon, and you don't learn to kick because you want to leave that energy for the bike. You kick near the end to warm your legs up. That's about it.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh wow. I thought you'd want to.
Oh, so-
When you want to have like the best performance possible in the swim.
but you you can swim just as fast as someone kicking their legs with your arms if you do it properly.
Oh, wow.
You know, you don't really need to use that much legs. A little bit of hip just to keep your legs floating, because the more, parallel you are, the more you're going to kind of cut through the water.
So you'd see them more sort of really using their arms. That's I think from watching some triathlons, you sort of do get that look where they don't seem like they're kicking too much. It's like a Olympic swimmer. Where
is that similar to like the channel crossings? There's not a massive amount of kicking in channel crossings.
Yeah, because you're wasting a lot of energy, because the kick is it must be something like 20% of your swim. When it comes to speed, it's mainly just for buoyancy, making sure your legs keep parallel so you're cutting the water and you're not causing any drag.
Right. Okay.
But it is helpful, if you wanted to go a bit faster.
So how long would you? So when you've eaten, so if you swim, do you swim in the evening or do you swim in the morning?
At the minute it's in the evening, but I do one morning session on a Thursday. I do a 7 a.m.
So would you eat before that, or would you swim?
I prefer to swim on an empty stomach,
so sort of
most of the time. Yeah,
swimming.
Yeah,
What about an open water swim? How's that look?
Oh, open water. I'll probably have.
That's like 5 a.m. job, isn't it?
Oh yeah, super early. Yeah, they want to make sure that water doesn't warm up by the sun. They don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's usually.
Just imagine living in the UK worrying about the sun warming up. The water's going to be a big problem.
That's like quite a psychological dig. Like you go and just literally running towards that. Water, ready to swim.
I've been there, like up at Rutland Water, our local big reservoir type thing. I've been there, standing there in a wetsuit, and they check the water, and they're like, "Can't go in yet. It's not warm enough. Legally can't let you go in, guys." And then like you wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and they test it again. It's like, "Oh, it's actually warm enough now. You don't need to wear a wetsuit. You legally don't have to wear a wetsuit."
Jesus.
Weird.
Legally have to wear a wetsuit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a weird
There's a
thing
certain degrees you have to wear a wetsuit.
Sorry, sir. You're not allowed to come in here. You don't have a wetsuit on.
Yeah.
Take your wetsuit off now. It's
You can get-
illegal to be wearing
I'm
it.
pretty sure you can get fined.
It's all I'm wearing. Oh, okay.
Put the wetsuit back on, sir.
Yeah, but then I'll do like a 100-meter cool down type thing, just kind of doing long breathing techniques, like every 8 strokes, 10 strokes. Call it a day. That's
Nice one.
So do you eat? How close do you eat afterwards?
Oh, as soon as I can.
As soon as you
swimming.
And what does that look
makes
like?
you ravenous. Oh,
Do you have
Subway.
like any kind of recovery drink, any kind of protein, or just
no.
just literal food, just whatever?
Yeah,
you can get your hands on,
Usually,
basically?
bread, bread or rice, carbs.
Yeah,
Because
carbs
I
back
need
up.
them after that. I just
Need to refuel, don't you?
yeah. I just feel like I need it after that. It's one thing that made me feel like I couldn't do low carb was, post swimming, you just need to fill up a bit. Loads of high fiber foods. Just
How does it feel on swimming on an empty stomach versus swimming with? I know you're not meant to swim straight away after you've eaten. We've all learnt that at school. But how do you feel sort of swimming fasted versus swimming fed?
I think this old myth about don't
Depends
eat
when
swim,
you
but
ate
I do cramp
night
up.
before.
I feel like while I'm eating, your blood's kind of in your stomach, not where you need it to be. And you do cramp up a bit more. My shoulders cramp up, my lats cramp up all the time if I eat before. So, most important thing is just getting electrolytes in to make sure I don't cramp up and drown.
Do you? I take it you supplement your electrolytes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Just cheap powder, from the guys in the back alleys.
Is that orally or up your nose?
What is orally?
Rectally. Gotta get it in the system that fast way.
Doesn't everyone take their electrolytes like a suppository? No. Get it in there
Just come on
quicker.
to a new trend.
On my food or powder, not that way.
But the food, on the other hand,
Yeah.
it wraps up in a bit of ham.
Yeah.
And tangent.
There's many tangents in this podcast. That's the best thing about it.
Yeah.
That's what you love about it.
Yeah, definitely. So, do you weight train when you're swimming, or as in the same day, or do you?
I mean, you
tend
are
to-
there
Yeah.
when he's weight training, so
Well,
Yeah,
no,
but I don't know if he's always gone for a swim. So it's a question of, is he? Because he also weight trains at the pool, and we're not with him then.
Yeah.
So is more of a what type of
I thought the question was like, are you weight training right now?
No,
just
as
to
in
get him going.
No,
it's like, you know he is.
Sorry, I will rephrase the question for Christopher.
No, don't. I get it.
I only did that to
Let's
annoy
leave
you.
him clueless. It'll be great. Yes, I do.
Do you just do repetitions, or do you go for heavier weights? So do you keep your strength training on? 'Cause I know you strength train with us.
Yep.
But when you're just at the pool, do you strength train then, or do you just higher rep it and keep the weight low?
No, most of it is, my lower body, because I've got, big legs. I don't really care about losing that much size on them or, anything like that. So it's more just recovery and building up kind of lactic acid threshold. So I do quite a lot of high rep stuff, and just so I don't get injured in the future.
You're kind of doing a bit of prehab.
Yeah, exactly.
On your knee at the minute, just you've got like a little niggle injury, so you kind of like go easy on it, aren't you?
I popped a quad,
Pop it like it's
a
hard.
little pop, but it's feeling a lot better now. But it's been helping a lot. Just especially if you're a bigger guy, you get a lot of little aches and pains in your legs, especially being older. It's just kind of helps me get through.
So I think I remember looking at your training. So you've got like some high rep days or high rep work for your legs, and then you'll do like swims or cycles.
Yeah.
Well, you actually hate cycling, but
Before
your
biking,
swims.
Yeah.
And right now you're keeping the strength stuff pretty heavy for your upper body.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, lower body, I can hit it pretty hard with the reps, and I don't mind the DOMs because when I swim, I don't really use my legs unless it's kicking drills. So,
The blood flow is going to clear out waste products, get the good nutrients, get protein, get it all in there as well from doing swimming.
all those butt electrolytes getting in there.
Those butt electrolytes. I tell you what, I really hope that no one just takes that one segment and is like, well, I watch a podcast and they told me I got to put them on my bum.
I forget. You can get them in tablet form, can't you? So I really shouldn't be saying that.
I mean, the ones that you
all those Georgian listeners we have. Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Kansas, that's where our listeners come from, definitely.
I didn't know that's what that accent
Well,
was.
golly.
Dang
Golly,
gummit.
mister.
Damn, God, I got to put it up my bum.
Said, do you know if I put these up my behind?
Scott said. Scott speaking.
Or is it Scott Peking? I'm not sure.
No one ever knows.
Should watch the beginning.
So if everyone wants to, we'll wrap it up now. So
Yep.
are you happy with everything? Anything you want to add? So where can we
I'm
find
cool.
you, Chris?
Mackenzie.strength, Instagram.
Yeah.
Scott?
Speaking in Instagram.
And Let's Talk About It on Instagram, which actually Let's Talk About It, but we'll get into that another day.
Mm.
Right, thank you all for watching or listening, depending on where you are, and we will see you again soon.